Welcome to the Spinning Rock Podcast. Conversations for the curious, the seekers, and the builders of tomorrow. With your host, Utkal. May these episodes move you, challenge you, and remind you of your place in the story. Please, enjoy.
All right, welcome back to episode 10 of the Spinning Rock Podcast. Today we're zeroing in on the Eastern Conference. I'll be breaking down all 15 teams, going from worst to first, going through every team's starting projected lineup, their chemistry, kind of like the narrative for the season, and why I have them ranked where I do. After I run through the East, I'll give you my official NBA Finals prediction and then the season award winners. Let's get straight into it. Number 15, I'm going to have the Brooklyn Nets here. I think they're probably the worst team in the league next year. I mean, they just, they're the definition of rebuilding. I mean, they had 4 first-round picks, I think, and they used them all to draft players. So their starting lineup next year is Demon. They're starting one guard. He is a rookie, I believe. And then they got Cam Thomas at the 2, Terrence Mann at the 3, Michael Porter Jr. at the 4, who they got in the Cam Johnson deal, and then Nick Claxton at the 5, who's, been in trade talks the last, 4 years, so it's probably a good chance that he gets moved. Just kind of find a player that fits within their timeline, but they just don't have the talent to compete at a very high level in this league. They got Daron Sharp, Zaire Williams, Jalen Wilson, Danny Wolf, that rookie out of Michigan, EJ Liddell, the rookie at Ohio State, Haywood Highsmith, Noah Clowney. So, I mean, they have okay pieces, just not talented enough to, compete in this league right now. So, I mean, I got them finishing last. 14, I have the Toronto Raptors, who I could see them finishing a little bit higher than this, a little bit lower on them than probably other people, but they have Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl in their starting lineup, which honestly isn't bad. I just think, relying on Brandon Ingram when he's hurt pretty much every year is, bound to go wrong. And, they're not world beaters by any means, but they do have solid roster. I do like Osei Abashi. Is that how you say his name? But he's on the Jazz, but now he's on the Raptors. I like Grady Dick as well, and they got Colin Murray Bowles, the rookie as well. Jamal Sheet, Garrett Temple. So I mean, okay roster, but I feel fine kind of putting them where they are right now. 14. 13, I have the Washington Wizards, who honestly I kind of like their roster, or not the roster per se, but I kind of like some of the players on their team. So they're starting Bub Carrington at the point. They got rid of Jordan Poole. They got CJ McCollum, who they got in a trade at the 2. Bilal Coulibaly, who I really like, at the 3. Chris Middleton at the 4. And then their sensational rookie from last year, Alex Sarr, at the 5, who I think he can take another leap to kind of, this is kind of why I have them over the Raptors. I just believe in Alex Sarr here. But, just getting rid of Jordan Poole is, a good idea. And kind of reset the culture in there, bring in a couple veteran presence in, CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton to kind of slow down the, waters there a little bit. teach up the young guys a little bit. They drafted Trey Johnson as well from Texas. They got Corey Kispert and Cam Whitmore as well. So I think Alex Sarr takes that leap. Again, I really like Bub Carrington and Bilal Coulibaly and Keyshawn George. And yeah, so I think those players kind of make that little leap there, and they're not gonna make the play-in or playoffs by any stretch, but I kind of like some of their players, and yeah, I have the Wizards finishing 13. Number 12, I have the Hornets here, and I am a big Knuppel guy. I honestly wasn't a huge fan of him at Duke, because obviously got overshadowed by Cooper Flag a lot, but he was really, really good in the preseason, and the Hornets won the preseason tournament thing that they have going on, and he was super impressive in that. They have LaMelo Ball at the 1, and LaMelo Ball has always been a good stat, bad team kind of guy. So let's see if with the pieces around him, with Brandon Miller kind of getting another year under his belt, let's see how LaMelo Ball kind of leads this team this year. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of leader he can be, or if he's always going to be the empty stats, empty calories kind of guy. So they got LaMelo at the 1, Brandon Miller at the 2, Knuppel at the 3, Miles Bridges at the 4, and Diabate, their rookie, at the 5. And so with this is probably the most exciting Hornets team they've had in a while. I mean, they had that video with all the kind of their veteran presence guys, being with the rookies when they signed their rookie deals. It's kind of cool to see. They got a little fun team: Josh Green, Trey Mann, Mason Plumlee, Drew Peterson, former Celtic, and I like that Tijane Saloon guy from France. He's kind of exciting. We can see what Colin Sexton can do as well, and then Grant Williams always there for the vibes. So Hornets are kind of fun this year. So I have them at 12. Coming in at 11, I have the Indiana Pacers. Yeah. The Indiana Pacers go from winning the East last year to finishing right outside of the play-in tournament. This is strictly Tyrese Halliburton's out for the year, so I think they're gonna win some games, obviously, but I don't think they're gonna be that consistent juggernaut, the team that's running all the way down the floor. I think Tyrese kind of settled them a lot, so I'm not expecting them to be as good next year, and I think they missed the playoffs. But they're returning pretty much the same guys. They got Nembhard at the 1, Mathurin at the 2, Nesmith at the 3, Siakam at the 4, and then they're probably gonna start Isaiah Jackson at the 5 with the loss of Miles Turner. So those are the two guys that are kind of missing from last year in that finals run that they had. Went to Game 7. So I mean, honestly, who knows what would happen if Tyrese didn't tear his Achilles. So they're probably gonna give the younger guys a little bit of a shot to kind of see what they can do. So Johnny Furby, excited to see what he can do. Isaiah Jackson, Aaron. I really like Aaron Nesmith, just like watching him play, but Ben Shepherd as well, and Jarris Walker, James Wiseman. Let's see what these guys can do. I think they finished right outside of the play-in, but I wouldn't be surprised if they made the play-in tournament. With the talent they already have on the roster, and I really like Andrew Nembhard and Mathurin and Nesmith and Siakam, obviously, but just having those 4 guys there, I mean, they could score 15 a night, so they can keep them afloat. But I feel comfortable placing them at number 11. At number 10, I have the Chicago Bulls. This was kind of an exciting team last year. I mean, they they had that crazy win over the Lakers where Josh Giddey hit the game winner from half court. Absolutely electric. So the starting lineup is Josh Giddey, who they got the deal done with him, Kobe White, Isaac Okoro, Matas Buzelis, who I really like. I think he can be really nice with it. That's kind of why I've been over the Pacers. I think Matas kind of takes that leap, and Tyrese isn't there to kind of get that, give the Pacers that superstar bump, and Vucevic at the five. So I think they're just going to be a solid team. They make the play-in tournament pretty much every year, and lose, but this is kind of the neighborhood they keep themselves in, and they got Javon Carter, Ayo Dosunmu, Herder, Trey Jones, Jalen Smith, Dalen Terry, Patrick Williams. So pretty much the same roster from last year. So had the same depth. Kind of I'm kind of hoping to see the same team as last year with the same vibes and Kobe White going off and Josh Giddey triple double guy. So I think 10 is a good spot for them. Number 9, I'm taking the Miami Heat here. Man, the Miami Heat are just they're just relentless, man. Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra just have built a culture over there that just wins, keeps winning, and knows how to find talent, develop that talent. So you just can't count the Heat out, and I think they're gonna make the play-in tournament. And their starting lineup is Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, and Khalil Ware. Not bad. I guess that means Tyler Hero is out to start the year, but they got Norman Powell in the Clippers trade. Khalil Ware has been absolute demon in the preseason. I think his ceiling is ridiculous. Just the way he plays, he's just dominant player. The Heat, though, they just always find these guys that can just, they're just pain in the ass and they can just ball. Jovic, they just signed him to extension. I like him. Pell Larson, you just can shoot. Saw him a couple games in the preseason. They got Terry Rozier, obviously. But I think I'm just betting on Khalil Ware to kind of make that next step, and I think he can be really good. He's a 21-year-old 7-foot center, so he can always pop off. Keep on getting better, and I'm excited to watch that their rookie from Illinois. Shout out ILL INI Kasparis Jacunios. He's a nifty passer with it. He's nice. Had a pretty good preseason, and then James Hakis Jr., who I like as well. He's just a solid Swiss Army knife. So Heat are solid, man. I mean, as long as they have Eric Spoelstra as the head coach, they're gonna be fine. So I got them finishing as the 9th seed and firmly in the play-in. All right, going on to the top 8 seeds in the Eastern Conference. At 8, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes, it is a bounce back year for this team. I'm kind of just hoping or just projecting that Joel Embiid is going to play more than 50 games. So this is kind of just a projection. I just think they're too talented enough to not, make some noise in this conference. So, I mean, they got the starting lineup of Maxey, the rookie Edgecombe, who they took number 2 overall. Was it number 2? Yeah, number 2 or number 3. He's their starting 2 guard. Kelly Oubre at the 3, Paul George at the 4, and then Joel Embiid at the Joel Embiid at the 5. So Joel Embiid, I mean, anytime he plays in the regular season, he's just always dominant. He won the MVP a couple years ago. Maybe Jokic should have gotten that, but he won it regardless. And he's the year after he won the MVP, he came back and played even better. So I think his problem is just staying healthy. I mean, he's a dominant force when he's out there, but it's hard to rely on him being healthy. I think he'll be healthy enough to get them to the eighth seed, but they got Andre Drummond as that backup big. Paul George needs to stay healthy as well. Obviously worried about his health. um, Eric Gordon, Quentin Grimes, Kyle Lowry, a little bit of older, or Eric Gordon, Kyle Lowry are definitely older guys, but Quentin Grimes can definitely ball a little bit like we saw last year. Jared McCain, let's see what he does when he comes back from that injury. But, they got some talent on this team for sure, so I think they're definitely going to be 8 seed, and I can see them being higher from here as well. All right, number 7, I'm going Detroit. The Pistons right here. So they got Cade at the 1, superstar Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, who they signed in the offseason, likely starting at the 2. They got the other Thompson brother, Asor at the 3. He's athletic freak as well. Tobias Harris at the 4, and then Jalen Duran at the 5. This team was probably the surprise team last year. People probably didn't expect them to be as good as they were, and I just think they're gonna, remain that consistency. I really like Jalen Duran at the 5. I see Cade as a superstar. He's gonna give you 25, 26 a night, and they just got some, solid depth. I like Javonte Green. I like Ron Holland. Jaden Ivey is hurt, so you can come back. They got Karis LeVert, B-Ball Paul, Marcus Sasser, Isaiah Stewart. So, they got some solid pieces. If we can see Asor kind of take that little jump, I don't think the gap between him and his brother is all that big. So I think he has the ability to kind of do the same thing, play really good perimeter defense, be a little explosive, work on that shot a little bit, but I think he can be a really good player, and him next to Cade is scary. So I have them finishing 7th in the East, going into next year, which brings us to number 6, my team, the Boston Celtics. I have them finishing as the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference next year. Maybe a little hot take, but I feel like this is a good spot for them, even with Tatum being out and likely out for the entirety of next year. I just think they're too talented enough to not be a top 7, 8 seed in the Eastern Conference, and with the leadership of Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP, and Derek White and Payne Pritchard kind of carrying the load a little bit, I think they'll be fine, and they'll find ways to win games. And so they're kind of a new look team going into next year. They got Derek White at the 1, Anthony Simons at the 2, Jaylen Brown at the 3, maybe Hauser at the 4, and then Kada is going to take the 5. And yeah, I'm excited for their pieces, man. I mean, they looked interesting in the preseason. Chris Boucher looked really good, so I think he can give them some solid minutes. Luka Garza can be solid as well. I really like their rookie, Hugo Gonzalez from Real Madrid. I mean, he's been giving them some solid minutes this preseason, so I think this year is going to be more about the development of Hugo, and see if any of the other guys can catch up as well. They signed Ron Harper Jr. to 2-way. Josh Minot has been giving them solid minutes as well. See if Baylor can keep improving. He's been having a tough preseason. And then Anthony is just, perfect for just filling that scoring void when Tatum, obviously Tatum is not going to play, so they need someone to score the ball, and Anthony can be that microwave, and you're not going to play for Joe Mazzulla if you don't play defense, so I think you can improve a little bit on that end, and we can see if Jordan Walsh can be that guy. It's this year. It's now or never. So Jordan Walsh has got to step up, see if he can be a 3-and-D guy in this league, and yeah, exciting year. It's nice to go into a season with the Celtics not having absolute number one, number two championship aspirations. So it's a little relaxing as a fan to kind of watch this year. So I'm kind of excited to see how these guys play, but I think they can do some damage, honestly, and win a playoff series or maybe two. Maybe Tatum comes back. February, March, April. Who knows what can happen, but I think this team is good enough to kind of stay afloat in the middle of the pack in the East. I don't think they're going to be a top three seed. I don't think they're going to completely fall out of the playoffs entirely. So I think they kind of stay in that middle and take that sixth seed. All right, number 5, I'm taking the Milwaukee Bucks here. This is strictly they have the best player in the conference in Giannis Antetokounmpo, so I think they're gonna be a top 5 seed. Kevin Porter Jr. is starting 1, Gary Trent they're starting 2, Kuzma, Giannis at their 4, and then Miles Turner, who they got in the offseason at the 5. Not a bad team by any means. I don't think they're a championship team. They just don't have the roster for that, but they have 3 Antetokounmpo brothers, so they're trying to keep Giannis happy on this team. They're they want him to stay, obviously, but that includes going on more deep playoff runs. And I like the Cole Anthony addition. They got Mir Coffee as well, Gary Harris. Bobby Portis, of course, Torian Prince, Jericho Sims, Gary Trent, Miles Turner, Ryan Rollins. So they got some dudes who can play. It's gonna be interesting to see how the dynamic between Giannis and the Bucks kind of grows throughout the year. If Giannis gets a little, if they start going on a tough streak, if Giannis gets a little moody, a little passive aggressive. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm Milwaukee, I'm not trading Giannis. If I'm Giannis, I don't want to leave Milwaukee. So this whole cat and mouse thing is kind of annoying to me. And yeah, I mean, if they wanted to trade him, they should have just traded him in this offseason, not play this game. But that's the NBA here for you. But yeah, I think even with all this with all these trade rumors, I think Giannis obviously is going to be a professional, play well, and Bucks 5 seed sounds about right. At the 4 seed, I'm going with this new look team. Could be special. All right, at the 4 seed, I'm going Atlanta Hawks. This team, new look team, sort of. They got Trae Young at the 1, Dyson Daniels at the 2, Ricochet at the 3, their rookie from last year, Jalen Johnson coming back from that injury, who I really like, at the 4, and then Kristaps Porzingis, who they got in a trade with the Celtics at the 5. This team is very intriguing. I really liked them last year. I like their 3-and-D guys, Ricochet, Jalen Johnson, and Dyson Daniels. Very defensive-minded guys. They got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who I really like as a rotational guy. Luke Kennard, he can hit threes off the bench. Neka Okongwu has been on rotation for a while now. Really, it depends on if Porzingis can play that role for them that he played on the Celtics, if he can be that 3-point shooter. But I really like their offseason, the moves that they made. Big Dyson Daniels fan. DPOY candidate. I think he won most improved last year. But yeah, they just have a pretty solid team, and they're gonna score the ball, play at a fast pace, get up and down, shoot some threes. We'll see if Ricochet can kind of make that second year leap, or this is a third year. I don't know, but if you can just make that leap, I feel like he's just getting better every year, and yeah, excited to watch this team. And Hawks, it could be scary. Yeah, so I have the Hawks finishing as the number 4 seed, and that is behind the number 3 seed Orlando Magic, who are also new look, big off season. They got Jalen Suggs starting at the 1, Desmond Bain at the 2, Franz Wagner at the 3, Paulo at the 4, and then Wendell Carter at the 5. So I'm just banking on Orlando kind of keeping that same defensive prowess that they had last year. They were top 3 defensive team in the league last year, if not the best, I believe. And they have 2 superstars in Franz and Paulo, who gave them 25 a years, 25 a game. Sorry about that. So with the addition of Desmond Bain, kind of fixes that that 3-point shooting problem that they had. Obviously, not one person isn't going to fix it, but you know, it definitely is one of the solutions to the problem. And yeah, they kind of kept that same core rotational pieces from the years before, and Goga, Anthony Black, Wendell Carter, Tristan Da Silva, Jet Howard, Jonathan Isaac, added Tyus Jones as well. So I'm really excited to see how this team looks next year. I think Paulo is an absolute superstar. I think Franz can score the ball whenever he wants to. So I'm expecting this team to do big things next year. I think they're a really good regular season team. I think they finished 3rd in the East. I could see them finishing as a 2 seed. Maybe not the 1 seed. Maybe the 4 seed. So somewhere in the 2 to 4 range. The Magic are gonna live here. They're gonna win a lot of games. They're gonna be defensive monsters. Be a little bit better on the 3-point line, and they're gonna be a really solid team. And then, yeah, I think they can do some damage in the postseason as well. But they're behind the 2 best teams in the East, and they can go 1-2, 2-1. Number 2, I have the New York Knicks. Coming off that conference finals appearance last year. A little bit disappointing for them that they didn't win that, but they're a real title contender this year with Tatum and Halliburton tearing their Achilles. They're bringing back their starting lineup of Brunson at the 1, Bridges at the 2, Anunoby at the 3, Karl Anthony Towns at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. I think their biggest problem this year is just going to be if they can develop a playing style and chemistry with Mike Brown as the head coach. It's kind of hard going from a coach you've had for so long and Tom Thibodeau to him getting fired and then developing a whole different playing style, playing scheme. But I believe Mike Brown is a really good coach, and I think he can do it. Yeah, so they've added a couple nice pieces as well. Jordan Clarkson, who's I'm not really scared of him. I think he's a little bit of a shot chucker. But they did get the dancing bear Gershon Yabusele, former Celtic. He's a really nice piece for them off the bench, and then we'll see if their young players like Pacom Diet is anything. I like Tyler Kolek. We'll see if he can become something. They got Miles McBride off the bench as well. Landry Shamet. So they kind of improved that bench a little bit because that was their problem last year in the playoffs. So we'll see if Clarkson, Yabusele can help them out a little bit, and make that run in the playoffs. Get to the Eastern Conference Finals again. which I believe they will, and they will play this team who I have finishing as the number one seed, and that is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, I have the Cavs without LeBron finishing number one in the East, and that's just because the talent on their team is quite ridiculous. I mean, the starting lineup is Garland at the 1, Donovan Mitchell at the 2, who's sneaky MVP candidate for this year. I think he's 12-1 odds. DeAndre Hunter at the 3, Evan Mobley at the 4, Jared Allen at the 5. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing they were lacking last year is just that experience, that playoff experience, and a couple early round exits the last couple years. I think they kind of got it. Kenny Atkinson is getting to know his players a little bit better. They added Lonzo Ball, who I really like. If he can stay healthy, I like him controlling the offense a little bit. I think Darius Garland was a little trigger happy a little bit. He wasn't controlling the offense. He kind of like that boom, 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 step back three a little bit. I like Lonzo Ball kind of settling the offense a little bit. Thomas Bryant off the bench as well. Sam Merrill, they still got 3-point specialist. Larry Nance off the bench. Max Strus, of course, and Dean Wade. So still got solid pieces that they can work with on and off the bench. But, I really like Evan Mobley, man. I think he has a chance to become a top 8-ish player. You just know when a player is like a unicorn just by watching him, and he can dominate down low. He can obviously rebound the ball really well. If he gets that 3-point shot working, he's going to be unstoppable, man. But this is Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley kind of bet. I think they're going to be dominant, and yeah, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be the number one seed in the West. So I kind of spoiled it a little bit. I got Cleveland and New York actually making the Eastern Conference Finals. I think this is going to be the Eastern Conference Finals. Kind of what probably the two best teams of the Eastern Conference, two deepest teams, two complete teams. They got experienced two-way stars. So I actually have the Cavs over the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm just betting on Donovan Mitchell finally coming through in the playoffs, Evan Mobley making that leap, Darius Garland just playing solid, and Jared Allen, the lights being not too bright for him and him showing up as well. So I think the Cavs get it done this year. I think the Knicks, they just feel like they're missing one thing. I just can't put my finger on it, but it's really hard for all their players to play well at the same time. Like last year, Mikal Bridges was amazing in the Celtics series, and Karl Anthony Towns is like okay. Jalen Brunson was like okay. So when Mikal's hitting that mid range, they kind of need all the other superstars and basically Jalen and Karl to kind of fill in the voids outside of that. So, I haven't really seen it fully from them. Even like OG when he's hitting threes, there's something always going wrong with them. So I just think they're missing one thing that's keeping them from going to the NBA Finals. So I have Cleveland going to the NBA Finals out of the East, and I think they're gonna lose to whoever comes out of the West. And my pick is Denver and OKC as the Western Conference Finals, and I just think it's Denver's year, man. I mean, they have the best player in the world. They've been so close, the years they haven't won the championship in the last couple years. Cameron Johnson for Michael Porter Jr. If not an upgrade, like what a switcheroo of, one 3-and-D 6'10" guy for another. I mean, crazy. And Aaron Gordon, always reliable. Christian Braun, I like his perimeter defense. Jamal Murray always shows up in the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, Denver just looks really good. Jonas Valanciunas, backup center, insane. So I got Denver over OKC, who I'm just don't think OKC is gonna win back-to-back championships. So I gotta take Denver here. They got the best player in the world. New done roster. It just feels like Denver's year this year. So Denver over OKC in the NBA Finals. Western Conference Finals. And that means I'm taking Denver over the Cavs in the NBA Finals. I think whoever comes out of the West is going to win the NBA Finals. I would take OKC over the Cavs. So Cavs are kind of like the martyrs here. I don't know if that makes sense, but they're kind of like the sacrificial lamb in these NBA Finals, because I think whoever comes out of the West is going to win. But Denver seems like the pick this year. I think they kind of, figure it out under Adelman, kind of get that chemistry with their new players. Jokic just, being the beast that he is. His passing is unreal, just kind of controlling the tempo, the pace, finding, Cam Johnson for threes. I just see it working out for Denver, man. I think they win the NBA championship for the 25-26 season. All right, going on to my awards. I'm not doing Clutch Player of the Year award. I think that award is dumb, so I didn't include that. But Most Improved Player, I'm going Amin Thompson. I think he makes a leap. I think he's just really explosive, and I think he's a hard worker. If he works on that shot, sometimes guys just don't develop that shot, but if he develops that shot, I think he can be a insane player in this league. So I'm going him for Most Improved Player. These are some fake awards that I made, but I'm going. I did most surprising, least surprising, or most surprising, most disappointing team. So most surprising team, I'm going to San Antonio Spurs. I think they're going to be better than even what people expect just because of Wemby. And I think he's just going to carry that team around him and kind of make them look a little better than they actually are. So I think they're going to be the most surprising team. I think the most disappointing team is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. I think people are probably going to expect them to make the playoffs and do this, XYZ, but I think they're going to disappoint. I think the loss of Desmond Bane is actually bigger than they think. I just don't think you can just replace a 3-and-D guy like that. And I think it's going to be hard for John Moran and Jaren Jackson Jr. to kind of, make up that load on the offensive side as well. So I think I'm going most disappointing Memphis Grizzlies. Coach of the Year, going Quinn Snyder. I think pretty simple. I think the Hawks have a great year. He's a great coach, so I think he's gonna, get that offense moving. He's gonna be Coach of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year was kind of hard. I was looking at Anthony Simons for the Celtics a lot, just because, they have a history of getting that award there with, Malcolm Brogdon and then Peyton Pritchard last year. Malik Beasley too, but he's got all this controversy surrounding him. So I went with Naz Reid, who's also a candidate last year. I think he's just he's just destined to come off the bench and ball, because that's just what he does. So Naz Reid, Sixth Man of the Year, sounds about right. Rookie of the Year, easiest one. It's gonna be Cooper Flagg, just absolutely generational rookie. He's gonna get a lot of shots with Kyrie out. Dominate the ball. Rookie of the Year, Cooper Flagg. Defensive Player of the Year, probably just as easy. I'm going Victor Wembanyama. Absolute beast. Grew 2 inches over the offseason. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what the reports have been saying. He's just, I don't even know words to describe this guy. Just blocking shots at the rim, shooting threes, dominating the paint. he's going to be a beast. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he averages, 3 blocks a game. He's going to win a lot of these awards. And then MVP, I'm going Nikola Jokic. I think he wins his 4th MVP, 2nd championship, 2nd finals MVP. It just feels like the Joker year, man. I mean, OKC, it's hard just to go back to back. It's been 7 years with new championships consecutively, I believe. A lot of parity in this league. And I think Denver should be the team that wins 2 championships in this era, just because they have the best player in the world, and it just seems fitting for them to be the champions, especially with the offseason that they had. Newly made roster, just great work from them, and it's kind of what you expect from a team when you have that kind of player in Nikola Jokic. It's like, we need to win every single year. We need to keep getting better, and their fans definitely can't be disappointed with the offseason that they had. So I think Jokic wins MVP. He gets a lot of help. He gets a lot of inflated stats from the wins that they're gonna have this year. But Nikola Jokic, best player in the world, is gonna be the MVP. All right, so that's my Eastern Conference predictions, as well as my NBA Finals and award predictions. So, again, going through the East, I got Cleveland number 1, the Knicks number 2, Orlando Magic number 3, the Atlanta Hawks number 4, the Milwaukee Bucks number 5, the Boston Celtics 6, the Pistons 7, the 76ers 8, the Miami Heat 9, the Chicago Bulls 10, the Indiana Pacers 11, the Charlotte Hornets 12, the Wizards 13, the Toronto Raptors 14, and the Brooklyn Nets 15, finishing last. All right, so I gave you my West and East standings and NBA Finals. NBA kicked off last night. We had crazy double OT first game on NBC in like 30 years. Great game between the Rockets and Thunder. Thunder just edging them out. And then we had the Warriors beat the Lakers. No LeBron. Luka almost had 44-point triple-double. Not enough. Jimmy Butler showed up. 2 great games. Rest of the slate starts tonight. NBA season underway. I'm excited. Gonna be doing a couple pods just talking about NBA ball here and there throughout the season. Just love talking ball. But yeah, enjoy the season. Let me know who you think is gonna win the championship. And this has been fun. Yeah, I'll see you with NFL predictions next time. All right, peace out.